Jiro, wag mong lapitan yan. Scam yan, scam yan. To be completely honest, the volatility of getting hacked, seeing my friends getting hacked, all the hacks happening in space, volatility of the price appreciation and depreciation din, mga altcoins, Bitcoin even, right, has stressed me a lot. Talagang tumama sa akin, pare. I need to take a conservative step for myself.
Okay, guys, welcome to another episode of Coinversation, and today we have good friend of mine, Jiro of Bitskwela. What's up, Jiro?
Good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you guys are watching from today. Jiro here from Bitskwela.
Okay, and for those that don't know, Jiro, ano ba yung Bitskwela? Para lang malaman nilang lahat in case you don't know it.
Of course, Bitskwela, we're a company that teaches crypto and blockchain education in the Philippines from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. So more or less, we work a lot with governments, enterprises, LGUs, and different organizations from different provinces in the Philippines. Nagtuturo pa kami on how to properly invest in crypto, how to properly trade, how to properly secure assets, so on and so forth. Everything you need to know about going into crypto in the Philippines.
Are you a website or are you beyond the website?
So we started as a website actually back then ng mga bandang 2021 ata, but we then expanded our scope when it comes to doing talks, workshops, hackathons, different programs from online to offline, KOLs, communities, a whole shebang. Pretty much anything pare from education na crypto related is under the Bitskwela brand.
Wow, okay, you do a lot,
A lot. Wala nang tulog pare. Wala nang tulog.
Pero ano bang objective mo dito? Bakit mo ito ginawa, Bitskwela?
Well, kasi back then, I came from a fine arts background, and my story, just a quick context lang for the viewers here, is I built my wealth and built my, I guess, savings personally as well through stock trading. I was a very vibrant participant in the PSE markets 2020 onwards, and then during that time I found myself trading Bitcoin and Ethereum as like a separate asset class, just like parang another diversification of mine, and then here I realized that when I started talking about Bitcoin and crypto to all my friends, my family, my titos and titas during mga dinners and whatnot, they were like, Jiro, wag mong lapitan yan, scam yan, masama yan, pang sindikata yan, diba? And then that's where I was like, that's a very major gap, Kasi if you look at it in like terms of other countries, where these other regions have higher literacy rates in different financial products, they have a higher GDP. Very straightforward, right? And I foresaw that crypto is going to be a major thing in worldwide over the next decade or so, right? So on a personal level, I didn't want the Philippines kasi to be left behind. So sabi ko, combining my mother's background for education, since he was a public school teacher for Miss Vilma Santos, and my father's love for the Philippines, since he worked a lot with San Miguel and tourism locally, I combined those two, and I said, okay, let's create something that will help education for the Philippine market. So hence Bitskwela.
Nice. And now, what is the main vehicle of education for Bitskwela?
So right now, I guess it'd be a mix of two things, online and offline. Online, we have the courses. So our courses are available English, Tagalog, Cebuano, and Ilocano. It covers blockchain, architecture, Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc., all for free. We do not charge a single cent to anyone who accesses our courses and guides on bitskwela.com. Now that is then propagated through our different online channels, through KOLs, through community programs, and through our offline events. Just in fact, over the past 2 months or 3 months, we went from Cagayan de Oro, we came from Puerto Princesa and Palawan as well. We held some different regional conferences by Bitskwela in partnership with the ICT as well, and major universities in those respective regions. So through those offline events, we're able to transfer the online content we have onto the offline to the students directly as well. So just a flywheel of that. On and on lang yun, dire-diretso over the past 3 years.
Wow, okay. And when you talk about sige, as a ratio, so how much of Bitskwela is offline and how much of Bitskwela is online?
Nung una, I'd say it's around 80% online, 20% offline. Nung una. But over the past year, habang lumalaki yung team ko and dumadami na rin yung partnerships namin, siguro nag-transition siya to up to like 60% na lang na online. 40% will be offline. Or 50 pa nga minsan actually, depending on the quarter siguro. Pag school year, or pag parang, let's say, may mga schedules sa election, diba? Et cetera, no? So it really depends on the climate overall, but I'd say it's around that range right now.
Okay, so when you say it went from 80-20 to 50-50 or 60-40, hindi bumaba yung online traffic mo. Tumaas lang yung offline.
Yes, for sure.
Right? Activity, right?
Trending up yung users, yung lahat of
Right.
activity naman online. Nag-iiba lang yung focus areas in terms of effort, no?
You're
When
right,
it comes to doing events on the ground.
Wow, okay. And who funds these events?
So we've been bootstrapped actually since day zero. Wala kami investor.
Okay.
Ever since we put up Bitskwela, all of the funds that we use for cost operations and whatnot have been from the profits and revenue ng Bitskwela. No. Now, of course, out of legalities, I cannot disclose lang, I guess, the different financial stuff about Bitskwela right now. But in terms of, it's gonna be sponsors, right? So different partners who support us from local, international. They help Bitskwela thrive in the Philippine market.
Interesting. Okay, so now that you mentioned that, sige, I want to talk about the new SEC ruling.
I knew it.
I know. Alam mo, I was gonna avoid it talaga with every guest.
No, tackle it, man. Yeah.
But I realized, kasi natatakot din ako, if I talk about it, mamaya ako din habulin na itong mga to eh.
Right.
But I realized, like, I just had Jen from coinversation, and I was trying to avoid the topic, and then we talked about it. So I realized since you're doing education, ayan.
Yes.
Oh, and you just mentioned nga that you live and breathe with sponsorships. Okay, how does that affect you?
So, to be honest, no, it was a very, I guess, pivotal moment, no, for Bitskwela, to say the least. In a sense, na when these new CASP rules came out as a draft, meaning, no, it was like back last year Q2, roughly. I saw it, na eh. But the rules back then were not as aggressive as they are right now. But when we saw the actual final rules, no, around 2 months ago, roughly, yun, no, that's when it hit us. Na parang this could greatly affect Bitskwela. Like what you said, no, we're very sponsor based, we're very B2B based, no. So as a business and as a company, this CASP rules sa bagong SEC directly affects on how we're able to bring in money and, of course, fund our operations. No, now over the past few weeks, to say at the very least, we've been in talks with a lot of legal counsel, na rin, internal and external, and different partners as well. And overall, we do have naman ways on how we can sort of, I don't want to say circumvent, right, but how we can like go around the rules, no, and in terms of work with it. With our education, right? It's just a matter of really repositioning on how we do our messages, on how we deliver our different content, and of course the medium zone in which we do so as well. So it's just more on a different adjustments than sa how, but the why is still intact for sure.
Okay. Sige. Have you ever talked to the SEC about this, or have they approached you?
Yeah, so in help with our legal counsel, no, we have sent out some questions, clarifications, and feelers, no, to them over the past month or so. So we got some clarification naman talaga, no, in terms of what we can do and what we cannot do as well. Pero overall, pare, honestly, medyo marami pang gray area sa CASP. I mean, even with all the discourse with the SEC, even with the rules intact already, on paper, ang dami pa ring gray areas na medyo malabo, honestly.
Alam mo, yan ang problema sa sa pagsulat ng mga batas na to, yung mga polisiya na to is hindi nila pinag-isipan talaga ng maiga. Honestly, I don't think so.
Right,
so marami silang mga nakita kong butas kasi kahit ako, when I looked at the actual rules, I saw so many loopholes or gray area na pwedeng left to interpretation.
Correct,
and pag left to interpretation, dyan tayo mayayari, and dyan nagkakaroon ng problema with corruption.
Correct.
Kasi kung interpretation lang lagi, sabihin ng regulator, ito interpretation ko, kaya yari ka dito. Kahit, wala kang magagawa. Interpretation na yan eh.
Tama naman.
So sino magsasabi sa kanya mali interpretation niya? So yun ang problema sa mga ganitong mga polisiya or batas. So which
very interesting kasi when we did some inquiries to the SEC, no, they did say a lot. That's going to be a case-to-case basis. That's a formal way of saying what you just said, actually. So,
wow, see what I mean? Case-to-case. So, if gusto kitang pag-initan kita. Kung ayokong pag-initan, okay lang din. I don't like that because that actually causes confusion at saka chaos and opens it up for corruption.
Correct.
Yes. Yun ang problema. And I wonder, baka nga, sabi ko nga, baka imbitahin ko na nga yung SEC representative dito.
I think you should, man. I think you should.
Diba? Yeah, kasi like honestly for me right now, like ang daming mga KOLs ang nadamay dito. And you don't even have to be part of a company, you could just be an affiliate. Bakit bawal maging affiliate, di ba?
Yes,
What if and plus, a lot of KOLs are really giving education about trading, about crypto. Para namang hindi ka mabudol. So, hindi ko maintindihan kung ano yung ayaw nila. So, everyone's radio silent now. Nobody's gonna talk about...
Hirap gumalaw honestly. Yeah.
Right. Pero di ba ang problema nga nun is kung radio silent tayo and we're not talking about it or any crypto, then lalong lalala ang pambubudol because people don't know what's a good project, what's a bad project, what should people listen to, so that's why I have a big problem with what the SEC is doing right now. I mean, assume natin it's in good faith. Do you believe that, or do you believe that?
I mean, yung paggawa ng rules ba? I think naman there was a certain extent of good faith to it, right? I mean, it was clear naman overall that the intention of the SEC, based on the talks they've given sa PBW, based on the talks they've given online, and based on the inquiries, that their main concern talaga are those bad actors na talagang intention mag-scam, right? So those were the main, I guess, target ng CASP rules. But yun nga, dahil sa pagsusulat and the way it is right now, naging blanket siya, unfortunately, that covers a lot of areas in which hinders a lot of KOLs, players, and local builders to operate how Web3 should operate, right? That's the main thing there.
Well, alam mo, for me, I've always been against regulation, any kind of regulation.
Right,
I'm a purist that way. And nakita ko nga to, what really bothered me about this is, for example, I use certain exchanges, right? And I really think that these are good exchanges.
Yes.
Why can't I say, now, pag sinabi mo, you're promoting it, hala ka, you bayad ka, no? It's like, wait, no, but what if I really believe this is a better exchange than this one?
Right.
Why can't I say it? Diba? What is wrong with that?
Right.
Versus not saying anything and hindi mo alam sa kapupunta. So,
correct.
I wonder what we can do.
It's limbo. But quick note there, I think the SEC did clarify on that one. That's okay, though.
What do you mean that's okay? Which one?
As an example, that's fine. If you were to say it in passing, na parang, I'm a trader, I trade with leverage on XYZ exchange. That should be fine naman daw. But you're not directly getting people to put money into it.
They said that. They actually said that
indirectly.
So
parang
parang let's say I said, I actually use this exchange and they gave me a T-shirt because of that. Sasabihin mo lang. Pero I know kasi exchanges, when you're a big trader, they do send you merchandise.
They send you merchandise.
And you do have an affiliate link, you're VIP.
Yeah.
So I don't yun na nga.
Okay, that's where the gray comes in again, right? I mean, kung unsolicited yung pagbigay sa'yo ng mga bagay or the rewards and perks from exchanges, that is something questionable din sa SC. It's very hard to distinguish it, honestly, right?
Okay.
But
okay. So right now it is what it is, and then let's see what'll happen from this point forward.
Yeah. I mean, overall, the CASP rules, I think they're a good step forward, but mali lang talaga yung pag-execute sa kanya sa Pilipinas, right now, if you look at the local players, the ones who are benefiting the most talaga are those. Actually, wala if you think about it, wala. Wait, sorry, scratch that. Wala pala. Wala pala. Kasi KOLs, bangga. Exchanges, bangga. Builders, bangga. If you need to build a Web3 wallet in Pilipinas, so I've been telling people then, if I want to build my own version of Filipino MetaMask, for example, I need 100M in assets to even start this project. I mean, come on, that directly goes against what Web3 stands for, right? And itself, as a small builder, who has 100M?
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Assets,
and who would gamble 100M?
Exactly.
It would stifle innovation.
Right. Kaya I'm saying na parang the Caspi rules had good intentions. I believe so naman But the way it was done and executed was way too much and over the board in terms of the hindering and stifling innovation sa mga tao. So exchanges, KOLs, event organizers, BD, lahat sila bangga one way or another ng Caspi rules So it's a blow to the crypto market in the Philippines.
I didn't know na pag Web3 kailangan pala ng CASP license.
Basta kasi the Caspi license applies to any instrument that has custody of assets. So that depends if your wallet is custodial, non-custodial, of course. But assuming custodial siya, then yes, you would need a Caspi.
Well, if you're a MetaMask and you're in Web3, you're non-custodial.
Well, there is a phrase kasi sa SEC wording, no? To get a little technical here. Dun sa Caspi rules, there is a line there that says, blah, 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 and anything that the SEC may deem in the future.
So, ayan na naman tayo sa ano eh.
It's a catch-all phrase eh. So, while it is not currently, tama ka naman, not currently directly under the Caspi rules, it may be part of it. And, you know, alam mo na.
As long as they deem it's part of it.
Yes,
in other words, if I interpret it to be a part of it,
right,
then it's a part of it even though it's not.
Kung trip nila, basically, then, boom. Yun.
Sige, invite ko na yung SEC.
Go
I
ahead,
mean,
man.
listen, I'm already doing stuff like this anyway,
right, yeah,
and I'm sure they're gonna discover who all the KOLs are anyway.
Right, yeah.
I'm not doing anything wrong. We're not doing anything wrong.
Correct.
We're trying to help nga the industry,
Exactly.
and I actually disagree with what they're doing, and I really think they should change it.
I think they will open it because they did go online with some webinars, no, with Musagan and Bitpinas ata over the past 2 months or so. So I think they're open to an invite then as well, pare.
Okay.
Yeah, should be good.
Sige, okay, that's interesting. And plus, I'm just wondering,
Yeah.
if you're a Web3 wallet, for example, if you're a Web3 project,
Yeah.
and ang alam ko kasi yung CASP license is only if you transact from pesos to, or if you need to be able to move from pesos to crypto or crypto to pesos. Pero pag hindi ka naman nag-move into pesos, parang you don't need a CASP license, but
Yeah, kasi the definition there, to get a little technical again, and again, disclaimer, hindi ako legal expert right, in any way, but my interpretation is, and also with the legal counsel that we've talked to, is a crypto asset provider is any service that does the transactions of crypto, plain and simple, right? So that may or may not mean peso to the US, right? It could mean na parang I change USD to Polkadot token, right, or Bitcoin, for example, right? That in itself could be deemed already as a service provider. But the main thing then there is the Caspi rules also go against yung token values. So in terms of marketing then, just to sidetrack a little, marketing wise, the most important thing is you do not talk about value. Value. Price or presyo ng crypto, wag mong pag-usapan in a very promotional way, no? So for example, if I were to say, for the sake of example, right, si Polkadot, pili ko pupunta yan ng $10. And I have the intention to make you, Chris, buy Polkadot coin because of that message, then that is a red flag to the SEC. Pero, yun, legally speaking, just avoid any value discussion.
I always talk about the price of Bitcoin.
Yes.
I wonder if Bitcoin's covered by this because Bitcoin's considered a commodity, not a security, nor is it considered na nga...
Baka okay lang Bitcoin actually.
Kasi wala namang may-ari. There's nobody paying. Bitcoin's not paying me.
Walang company sila.
Yeah.
Correct.
Diba? So I can't imagine. It's like saying that I think gold's gonna go up. Aha, you promoted gold. Are you part of the Gold Advisory Council? No.
Peter Schiff.
Yeah, I'm just really excited about gold. But why?
Right.
Diba? So... But yeah, sige, okay. I don't want to dwell on the issue. I'm sure a lot of people are already stressed by this issue. Pero let's move on. I wanted to talk to you about Bitcoin. Now that we're talking right here, is at an all-time high.
Yes, sir. Hit 122,000,
123.
123.
It actually hit 123.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
How do you feel about that? Because remember, when you started in Bitcoin, how much was Bitcoin?
Nagsimula ako Bitcoin, nasa 15? Ata 15. Nung year 2020 to. During the... actually 8 pala, 8. Pandemic crash.
Yeah. So it crashed about... it made a flash dip to as low as 3,000.
Yeah, below
in
that.
March, around 3,000. Pero it quickly went up to about 5,
right.
And then back to 7, and then it hovered at about 7 to 10.
Right. So around that yung simula ko. And I never expected, honestly, to reach 123 in this short span of time. Because if you look back, like all the talks I've given, all the Q&As, all the panels over the past year, when they asked me, Jiro, what's your prediction for Bitcoin by 2025? I kept saying 100K. I was pretty confident about that. 100K, then yun na yun. Like, feel ko that's the top for this year. and then correction, and then tsaka na yung next leg up. But when I woke up, pare, the other day, I saw Bitcoin hits 123,000. I was like, damn. Like, I was legit at a loss of words, dude. Like, I didn't really expect it. Of course, in a good way, no? I mean, my portfolio is happy. My friends are happy. Of course, Bitskwela as a company advocating for Bitcoin is happy, right? But yeah, very surreal, man. Very surreal.
Yeah, it is. We're living in parang it's like a dream, to be honest with you. I knew this day was coming. And now that we're here, parang wow.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, actually, I tell my girlfriend every time we talk, I'm like, wow. I don't know how to react. I knew this day. I prepared for this day, and now that we're here, I'm like, wow. I'm still in awe. And you know what the thing is right now? I've been saying it too many times that Bitcoin will hit $1 million. It will hit $1 million per Bitcoin. And it's inevitable. It's not even if. It's really a matter of when. It'll surpass $1 million per Bitcoin. And I swear to God, pag umabot tayo sa time na yun, umabot na ng $1 million per Bitcoin, I'll still be like, wow, andito na tayo.
Iba yung feeling pag parang tumama yung projection mo, right? Into this asset class you've believed in over the past 5-10 years, right? For example. It's a different feeling. It's different from like saying, oh, I believe this stock will go up by 20% next week. That's like normal, fine, okay, you're good at trading. But it's something that you believe in on an economical, sociological standpoint, like Bitcoin. It's different, but I can't really explain it, but it's different.
And then for me, the amazing thing about Bitcoin kasi is when I talk about the price, I talk about it in a sense na nakikita ko kasi yung value niya and how it's becoming the reserve asset, global reserve asset for everything. The entire market. It will suck the air out of gold, real estate, stocks, you name it, every single commodity, everything is gonna be sucked by Bitcoin. Kaya ang sarap talaga ng feeling.
What's the market cap right now of Bitcoin?
Market cap's at about over 2 trillion.
2 trillion. Wow. So above siya Amazon, no?
Yes, it's number 5 now. Nalampasan na niya. So it's now the number 5 most valuable asset in the world.
That's crazy.
And it will be the number 1. Malapit na yan. So there's only gold. I forget if it's
silver, ata?
I don't know. I don't remember
silver na pala, sorry.
Yeah, it's gold, parang Tesla, Apple, Tesla, Facebook maybe, or Nvidia. Yeah, parang I don't remember the 4 ahead of it. There's only 4 companies.
Right.
And 3 companies and gold. So one commodity, 3 companies that are bigger than Bitcoin. But if you look at it, it can pass the other 3 easily this quarter. This coming quarter. The 4th quarter.
How much does it need to appreciate from your calculations ba?
To surpass them, 200,000.
200,000. And you think that's possible within this quarter?
Next quarter.
Next quarter.
Yeah, last quarter.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually when I'm looking at it, 200 is easy for the last quarter. If we are able to, we broke 123. So now from 123, if we maybe dip a bit in August, September to about 108, 110, 112, mga ganon. And then by October, it starts to rally up to 200. And remember, from 30,000 all the way up to 100, took how long? It wasn't.
It's pretty fast. It's like,
it was like a year. Not even a
6
year.
months
Oh yeah, I think it was less than a year because from the time that ETF happened, it was at the start of January last year, and then from mga that time it was like 30, 35 or something. Parang di pa nag-all time high. And then after that, a few months later, it went to 60, 70, and from 70 by the end of the year, boom, 100.
Sarap ng miss ko yun ba? Miss ko yung vibrant feeling.
So imagine mo how fast it was to go from 30 all the way to 100. 120 to 200 will be easier. So kasi you're talking about nation states, companies, so many more companies are now buying into Bitcoin, plus the volume from ETFs. So there's a lot of interest, and the global adoption is really happening. Kaya the 120 to 200 is an easy jump. So, not financial advice. Wala akong binibenta dito. Sinasabi ko lang what I really believe in, okay? Bitter ako di ba? So, so around 200. And 200, then, correction next year, let's say it corrects. Maybe it corrects back to 100. Maybe.
So half the price.
Half, yeah.
That's medyo masakit sa puso yun.
Yeah, well, but for me, sa mga nanonood ngayon, like the way I see it, what I'm gonna be doing is if it hits 200, I may sell a third of my Bitcoin, and then after that, buy back in 2026, 2027 when it goes to 100, if it goes to 100. But what if it doesn't? Then, well, whatever it goes down to, if it goes to only 120, I'll buy back in at 120.
Right.
So, okay
I love
naman.
what you said though, that you're gonna take or sell 1/3 of your Bitcoin though. Because I feel like that's one of the lessons that people always forget, honestly. So crypto space, local, international, people always forget to book profits. Like, ako I realized, pare, like as much as I believe in Bitcoin and the whole asset class, I should take profits. Like.
So have you taken profit?
I've taken some profits, yes.
From where? Which
when Bitcoin hit 100K, I took some partial profits in Bitcoin and a lot of my altcoins, for disclosure now. But I still do hold a lot of my Bitcoin holdings ever since pa rin. But I realized kasi na as time passes by, we need to live. And right now in a society in the Philippines where we can't pay for stuff in Bitcoin yet, I need some Philippine peso. So, like it or not, I need to sell for it then. And that's been one of the bad things na hindi na rin sa matao sa ibang bansa, right? Na if you look at CT or crypto Twitter, right? Ang daming taong they lose all their gains, their whole portfolio, because they did not book their profits at this point in time. Right. So it's one of those pitfalls that I always tell people when investing in crypto, no? Na, okay, it's good to invest here. The appreciation is good. The asymmetric bet is very good, very attractive overall. Pero please do not get, I guess, how do you say this? Too blinded by the upside, no? That crypto and Bitcoin has to offer. Kasi you could get, sorry if I could curse here, but fucked by it, no?
Yeah.
So, I like that you said that you sell 1/3. That's very good. I advocate for that, man.
Yeah. Although for me, I'm very particular that I am not selling all my Bitcoin. It was really literally a third. Not even a third. It was a little bit under a third. But for altcoins, ang ginawa ko naman, I sold my altcoins when I profited and then put it in Bitcoin.
Perfect. That's the best strat, man. Best strat.
Yeah.
Reinvest all the stuff you have into Bitcoin and then you churn that afterwards. That's in my opinion, the way and how to create wealth is 21st century talaga.
Yeah, and right now what I'm doing is I don't know if you're doing this, pero what I'm doing is the 1/3 that I actually sold in Bitcoin. I did sell it and then I traded. I'm trading it, pero position trades.
Okay.
Back to Bitcoin. But
okay, wow.
Ang altcoins naman, I'm really trying to get put all the profits and put it into Bitcoin. Kasi my goal is to accumulate more Bitcoin.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's where we differ a little ng konti. You might get mad at me for this one.
Go. I want to hear this.
But the profits I booked from Bitcoin, the one I sold ng $100,000, I put it into bonds, government bonds. So it's sort of my diversification. So it's I see your face, man. I see your face.
Sacrilege.
So ako, man, like I took a more conservative route because I'm 26-year-old right now, and I foresee putting up a family myself, no, in the next 5, 6, 7 years. And I just didn't like the feeling of putting it all the volatility to crypto, no. So bonds was there, offered an okay return, tax free because government bond siya, and I was like, this profit I got from Bitcoin, turn it over to bonds para may constant backup ako, and in any case anything happens.
Are they Philippine bonds?
Government bonds, yes.
Philippines.
Yes, Philippines.
So just my thoughts on this.
Yes.
I don't have faith in the Philippine peso.
Okay. Why is that?
Because it always goes down in value. Historically, it never goes up in value. And I've seen it since so I'll give you a timeline. 1997, it was at 24 pesos to the dollar.
To the dollar, yes.
Now it's 56.
56. That's like 50% over the past
Yeah.
No, times 2 pala. Times 2, sorry. Over the past...
almost 3 decades.
3 decades.
3 decades, yeah. So, can you imagine that? And it's going to keep going down in value.
Right.
That's the problem I have with fiat, with pesos in particular. Kaya ako, I look at pesos as parang having money in time zone, for example, yung tokens nila. Unless you're in the Philippines and you need the tokens. But if you're not, I'd rather not hold on to it. Why hold on to it? And so, whatever gains you get, if you don't mind me asking, ano yung percentage na nakuha mo from the bonds?
Sorry?
Ano yung percentage? Ano mo?
Yield mo? From the, right now, it's around 6% net.
6%, right.
Tax-free, yeah.
Okay. So, if you look at it based on the inflation of the Philippine peso, you might not come out ahead compared to the 6%.
You may.
A little bit.
Yeah, because inflation right now is at 3%.
So the problem with the way inflation is computed,
numbers. Official numbers.
They're basing it on price of goods, right? But the real inflation is the price of assets.
Correct.
So dun mo makikita talaga when you talk about the price of real estate, that's when you look at the real inflation. So dun natatalo ang bonds ng 6%. And not just the 6%, it's the Philippine peso against the US dollar. In the Philippines, you're fine. Pero once you decide, let me travel and spend the money elsewhere, you're like, wait a minute, my money's worth a lot less than how it was.
Right.
Yun yung problem nun. If ever, I would advocate actually na kung I feel bad saying it because we're in the Philippines and we should promote the Philippines. Pero to do that, we need the government kasi to help stop the slide of the Philippine peso and strengthen the peso rather than doing everything they can because they don't know better para lalong humina pa yung halaga ng peso. So having said that, okay.
Yeah.
What I would recommend is, if ever, kung talagang gusto mong to go back into the fiat system, US bonds.
US bonds. What's the return on US bonds right now?
It's less or no. What's the prime rate right now?
4%?
Probably about the 4 or 5%. At the very but at least the US dollar will still retain its value as a global reserve currency no matter what, stronger than the Philippine peso.
Pero alam mo problema dyan, pare, the capital gains tax. When you invest into other asset classes na hindi government bonds, you have a huge tax there. I mean, just in fact, actually sa banks din, 2 days ago they announced that they're imposing a 20% tax on bank savings.
Yeah, which is so stupid that
crazy,
they did that. When I heard that, I'm like, you're just losing more people who are already going outside of the banking system. Lalong dadami pa yung aalis sa banking system.
Talagang doesn't make sense. Parang 20% of your gains in a bank.
Wala na nang natira. Tapos, ang liit na nga ng kita sa banko, to be honest with you. It's practically nothing So,
correction though, it's long-term savings. That's a common misconception ng mga tao that I see online. It's long-term savings. Okay. So, the return you get by just depositing on the bank, yung 1% or less than 1%, that's unaffected. Sana naman, diba? Sana naman. Okay. But I think what they're taxing here is yung, let's say, fixed term savings on banking. Okay. So it's around, let's say, 5%. 2, 3? Depends. May
5%? Wow.
Meron na, depending on the bank.
Okay.
4 or 5% depending on the macro conditions and actually ng banko, ng gobyerno, ng BSP, yada. But that's what they're taxing on 20% right now.
The other option is for me, because I'm absolutely so doon pala tayo nagkaiba, I realize in terms of use. I'd rather put it in Web3 in a DeFi project like Aave, which gives me for Bitcoin, how much return do they give? For Ethereum, they give a 3.9%.
That's half in bonds though. That's half in the Philippine bonds though.
Is it half? Yeah. That's almost 4%.
6% to 7% yung sa bonds in the Philippines.
Yeah, 6%. So that's 4% versus 6. But the difference is it's in an asset class that grows in value.
But my question to you is, are you I guess comfortable na your chunk of your assets that are like, let's say in this example, right?
Yep.
Very important to you. You need it to live, etc. Is its security is dependent on the applications on Web3. That's my question to you.
That's a great question. And I'm glad actually this is good that we're having this. And I like the pushback kasi this is actually what makes for a more interesting discussion on perspectives on how you invest. The reason I'm comfortable and how I look at projects and where I put the money is in the total value locked. Dito makikita kung may liquidity yung project So like Aave for example that that their lending protocol mataas yung total value if I'm not mistaken it's in the billions of dollars
for sure.
which is bigger than any Philippine bank. So automatically, I know that, hey, this is a lot safer than a Philippine bank.
Yeah.
Okay, so yun, that's one. Probably even bigger than the amount of bonds that are locked in with the Philippine government. And these projects are massive with a lot of liquidity. I won't just put it in a new project. On a new chain.
Okay, right.
So I see Ethereum as a very solid blockchain, and I actually believe Ethereum is going to it's going to still go up because mataas yung total value locked in the entire Ethereum ecosystem.
Okay.
So you're talking about Ethereum, yung second layers niya, Arbitrum, Optimism, Matic, lahat yun. So ang daming second layer na also has value locked money, actual money locked into the system. So all of that is in the I don't know the exact number. Maybe I should have checked. Pero I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the 50 to 100 billion dollars. Yung ganun kalaki yung number na pinag-uusapan natin na liquidity. So that's where I take comfort in knowing that. Number one. Number two, when you transact in Web3, and I could be wrong, pero ang pagkaalam ko kasi is your wallet is allowing the site to interact with it.
Yes.
Right? So you give the permission.
Yes.
But I do believe that in these smart contracts with Aave, for example, if anything happens to the site, I think baka bumalik naman ata sa'yo, or do they still have it? I'm not sure.
Not guaranteed.
I should read up on this more because alam ko the smart contracts are all automatic.
Yes, they are.
So it's not something that can be negotiated. It's not something that Aave can say, oh no, I'm in trouble, so I'm gonna hold your money and I'm not gonna give it back. It's gonna be returned no matter what. So parang ganun siya. Even with Ethereum staking, it's locked into the Ethereum ecosystem, but that smart contract is, I believe that dictates na you're just lending it to them, but you have full control of it, so they can't withhold that from you if you want to ever take it at any time. So, and that's locked into the programming.
Okay.
So it's not like suddenly it's gonna turn off. You can say it's not. It's literally a programming that says this is a smart contract. It's gonna keep going. How does it stop? It doesn't stop. So yun yung comfort level ko with Ethereum. I've seen some returns on Sui and on Solana na parang, okay yung return. I'm like, okay, how long has this protocol been around? Parang, yung website, protocol website. So, natatakot ako na baka mamaya ito mawala So yun, so I study which Web3 protocol I would put the money in. Yun. So,
and Aave is the biggest one right now.
Aave is the biggest one. Oh yeah, and even Aave's, so the price of the Aave token is now close to all-time high. Close to its all-time high level. So, you see that it's survived and it follows the Bitcoin move. So Aave is a very strong project that that I think can work. And plus they have a lot of remember, not only do they give you return on your money, all types of tokens, from Ethereum to USDT, USDC, everything, they give you return on everything. Pero they also lend. That's the thing. So if you're borrowing, if you're allowing your Ethereum to be lent, you lend them your Ethereum, meron ka makukuha 3.9%.
Yes.
Kung hihiram ka ng Ethereum,
you can get it for like 5%,
right?
Yeah.
So they make money on that spread.
Yes.
Which is a big spread. That's almost a little bit over 1% spread.
Right.
So, pag tinignan mo lahat, and they're very open about it, they're very transparent. So, alam mo, okay, they're safe because they're making money.
Yeah.
They're giving you, and then they're also taking from the top end.
Right.
And there's a lot of people borrowing from them as well.
Right.
So, ang ganda nung and plus, remember, ang maganda di sa Aave, is you have to have a large portion of your collateral.
Correct. Yes.
Unlike the way banks do it, dito talagang literally over-collateralize ka. So they're making sure that you are also not going to get liquidated. But in case you do, panalo sila. Hawak nila yung crypto mo. So wala silang talo. So if you think about it, it's very safe.
Right. Walang contention sa TVL, don't get me wrong. TVL, over-collateralization of the loans, etc. Walang question yan, right? But my main point of contention talaga is the security risk of the smart contracts. I mean, we all know that Aave has been here for the longest time, right?
Yep.
But we also know that all the contracts and dApps that have been hacked over the past 2 years have been there for a long time as well. So my main thing going in my head when I made a decision to go to bonds on a personal level was, what is my assurance that this wealth of mine will 100% be safe with a platform like Aave, even though they have a track record. You can't be sure. You can never be 100% sure.
Right.
Like right now, confidence level of myself, I'd say like 95%, 99%. It's pretty okay. But there's still 1 to 5% I'm not willing to risk. But for that money, I need to start my family. Does that make sense? Parang that's where I'm coming from a conservative standpoint.
Right.
The way I thought of it is yung rule ni Benjamin Graham, right? In terms of investing kasi, your age is the percent of your net worth you're supposed to put in on a conservative basis.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, so right now I'm 26 years old.
So 26%.
26% is what you put into the conservative stuff, aka bonds. And that's my chain of thought, right? Just to be the devil's advocate for the crypto side of things, no. I'm not at 26% right now, just a disclaimer. I'm still towards it and depositing my other funds onto the bonds, but I'm working towards it. That's right, that realization over the past 6 months or so, parang I should have that conservative side. Kasi I've been all in the Bitcoin, man, the crypto, and to be completely honest, the volatility of getting hacked. I haven't been hacked, disclaimer lang, but seeing my friends getting hacked, all the hacks happening in space, volatility of the price appreciation and depreciation, then mga altcoins, yada yada yada, Bitcoin even, right, has stressed me a lot. Right. It's gotten to talagang tumama sa akin, pare, on a spiritual level, if I would say the least, no. So I'm still bullish, but I need to take a conservative step for myself, for my security.
You sound like you have trauma from the last
there is some
from the last crash.
From the last crash, there is I won't say any numbers, no, but there are some there's some trauma there, no.
From Bitcoin or from the altcoins?
Not Bitcoin, altcoins mostly.
From the altcoin, yeah, we all made that mistake.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of my kasi mali ko kasi dun. I had this amount of USDT, no, and I was like, my Bitcoin stack was good, right? And I was like, shit, okay, I feel a little aggressive. Trump's president,
Oh no! Did you buy Trump?
I didn't buy Trump. I bought Melania.
Oh!
Which is worse, bro. Which is worse.
Oh shoot! Oh my god!
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the last crash in 2022. You're talking about
recent, bro.
You're talking about this one. So the trauma is fresh.
It's very fresh, man.
Oh my god. Okay, I want to hear this.
So I had all the USDT stable coins in my wallets, and I was like, okay, my Bitcoin stack, percentage white net worth, I'm good, right? I'm happy with it. But I think it's a little aggressive. I'm young, I'm fresh. Trump's president, feel ko bullish lahat, pare, bullish lahat. Lagay akong pera. Pucha, bro.
Oh my god.
Alam mo na, when things happened over the past few months, things went down 40, 50%, even more, depending on the coin you're holding. And I was sitting there in front of my laptop, and I was like, damn.
Oh, Lord.
Damn. But,
oh my god.
In essence, though, just a disclaimer as well to the viewers, I'm still fortunate enough then that the portfolio I have right now is still very good in terms of my historical value, no. But I lost a lot lang in terms of what I could have gotten, right? And that was an eye-opener for me, in terms of like, I should have this conservative side to myself. Because in case any of these things happen again in the future, which it would eventually one way or another to myself, being a very aggressive investor myself, no.
Oh my God.
Kailangan meron akong parang mental fallback na parang, okay, at least meron akong bonds sa safe instrument, which is the government, right? Okay lang mawala ng konti inflation, to the true inflation, I mean, or to the US dollar, but I am guaranteed that I can still purchase my living goods, a house, etc., over the next decades or so, no? So that's my chain of thought. And the interesting thing is, no, I've seen this exact thing replicate on other crypto people in the space, right? People like Gainsy, if you know them, people like this and that, these influencers, they had these very aggressive standpoints then for the market over the past years, but they're also flushed out because they were too aggressive. They were too optimistic of the space, no? To the point it was very, I don't want to say, but delusional, no?
Yeah.
They put in the money of their parents, money of this and that.
Man.
It was too much, no? And it hit them hard. Like, a truck talaga to them. And that is what I'm avoiding right now by putting a stop to my aggressiveness, no? By going by bonds.
Okay.
So that's been my train of thought there, no? On why I went for bonds for a partial of my portfolio, no? Yeah.
Pare, ang lalim ng hugot mo, And I just want to say,
Malalim.
I forgive you for your sins.
Thank you. Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Let it go. It's okay. It's okay. We all made that mistake.
Yes.
Okay. At one time or another, I believe every crypto everyone that has invested in any asset, it doesn't matter.
For sure.
Lahat dadaanan yang dinaanan mo.
Tama.
Dinaanan ko rin yan. We all did. But I didn't buy Melania.
Pare talaga yung Melania coin.
I can't believe
I was in Japan that time. Just a quick kwento na. I was in Japan. I was on a train. Before I rode that train, I was like, oh, Melania coin drop. I brought my laptop. I bought Paris Pump Fun ata yun or
Oh
something.
my God, sa
Pump
Pump
Fun.
Fun.
Yeah, Pump Fun yun. I bought Melania. I was like, shit, Trump went this X, no? In a matter of a day or two. FOMO, bro, below Melania. Okay, so I bought train. Sarado ako laptop. I was enjoying the Japan views. I was drinking coffee. Sarap ng buhay ko, pare. I felt like, shit's going good, man. Tangin ng pagbaba ko ng tren. Boom!
Pagbaba na tren, pababa din si Melania.
I was like, bro, what happened, dude? What happened? It's like, that was the start of the whole horrible
okay,
few months.
I really feel you and I understand you.
Right.
Sa akin, I just realized I am absolutely irresponsibly long on Bitcoin. Absolutely irresponsibly in Bitcoin. And I don't recommend people do what I did and I'm doing. Pero kasi ako, I have pretty much my assets in Bitcoin. If I could sell my condos, I'd sell it. To be honest with you, I would. I would sell it.
Right.
If somebody offered me, I'd sell it in a heartbeat and I'd put it in Bitcoin. Ganon. And what I do is I just convert what I need into pesos. Yun yun.
Okay,
But,
so you have that inclination to do so as well.
to do what?
To convert to pesos as well.
Because you need to pay for electricity, my credit card. I'm planning to buy another car, and then so you need to. But I will only convert what I need to spend.
What you need lang.
Yeah, I don't keep money in pesos as investment. I don't. Ako talagang kung kailangan ko gastusin, lalagay ko din gagastos ko. Kung hindi ko kailangan, if
so parang yung base mo is Bitcoin.
Yes,
parang
Bitcoin
ganun.
is the base. That is the base. No matter what, I dollar cost average into it. At the way I see it, kasi Bitcoin literally is the savings bank.
Okay.
It is the bank that will literally appreciate no matter what over time. Yes, there will be dips, and I will buy, and it will keep appreciating to forever.
Right.
Yun. Because of the fact na naghahanap ang people are looking for a safe place that no government can touch. In terms of asset that no government can ever control and take away from them. And Bitcoin's the only one.
Right.
Kaya,
Tama naman.
that it'll eventually happen. And regardless of what people do, that's what I'm doing. And a lot of billionaires, that's what they're doing. So kaya yun ang ano ko. But I do understand your conservative approach. And it's not a bad approach, It's just a different approach.
Yes.
Yun lang yun. And you can't fault anyone for believing one way or the other.
Yeah.
Actually, you can fault somebody like me for believing what I do because it is, I think, irresponsibly long. But I guess for me kasi, tinaya mo ba is money that you needed right there and then or like you needed in the next month or 2 months, that's why masakit?
No naman. I always had this portion of my portfolio that is for my cost for the next 3 to 6 months, even more, right? So it was in no way naman like essential money to me, in that sense for living, but it's just more of like just general wealth creation.
Okay.
Disclaimer.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so it sounds to me that the trauma you have is not really because of Bitcoin. It's really the altcoins.
No, not really Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin it crashed lang naman. It dipped nung time yun from like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like
not much.
100 to 70, 80.
No, it didn't. 79.
Diba?
79.
79, right?
Not
that much, like
nah.
20%, 30%, right?
Yeah, it didn't even stay that long.
Yeah, so that was fine. It's really on the altcoins part, right?
Yeah.
So that's why ever since that happened, I was like, okay, I learned my lesson. Number 1, I'll be less aggressive on altcoins moving forward. Number 2, I'll invest more into Bitcoin. And number 3, bonds. And I think that's a perfect mix for myself, given my, I guess my mindset investing, no, and my comfortability. Kasi the number 1 rule of investing talaga is you should always invest money that you're comfortable with losing, right? And or where you can't lose sleep over, right? And I saw myself, if I put this amount of money into this asset, I was kind of panicky. I was kind of like parang shit, hindi mapakali. Right. But with the current mix I have right now, I can sleep well. I'm calm. I'm comfortable. And that's what I saw. Okay, that's where I am. Thought the Benjamin Graham then, by the way. So shout out to you. I know he's not alive now though, but
I love that.
But yeah.
So having that mindset.
Yeah.
That's how I sleep with my Bitcoin.
Oh, then that works for you then.
I love it.
Yeah.
Like I love, waking up with this.
Yeah.
I can literally disappear today.
End of the day naman, that's what matters eh. If you're comfortable with what you're doing, then that's it.
Yeah.
Right? That's it. Yun lang yun. Pero mo naman yun eh.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that's interesting. How you're doing it. So you're saying now that by the time you hit 30 or 40, you should be at 30 or 40% into the safer investments.
Maybe 30. At 40, di na siguro.
So you'll probably keep it at about 30%.
I'll temp check it siguro.
Okay, right.
It's a moving goal, I'd say. No?
Right. And by then, you'll also see where Bitcoin's at din eh.
Yeah, exactly.
Malay mo, you'll realize that, shoots, it's at that point where it is a safe haven na talaga.
Correct, yeah. Then that's where I can be more aggressive with Bitcoin in terms of like even my conservative stuff. Dun sa Bitcoin, right? But at current state, macro-wise, no. I mean, it's still at 120, it's good and all, but it's still a very volatile asset in its own sense, right? Relatively speaking. So, kailangan pa rin in my opinion, my conservativeness in terms of where I put my money here and there, right? And on a serious note then, like, as Bitskwela din, it's something I realized na parang I need to have this POV when teaching people then. Kasi I can't be all like, buy Bitcoin, put all your money in Bitcoin, this, that. People won't believe me. Honestly, like, if I go to the provinces, if pumunta ako sa mga LGUs, people of different walks of life, no, they hear me say that, na, oy, Bitcoin lang, lahat ng pera malagay sa altcoins, whatever, crypto, DeFi, they're like, nagsasabi nito, ayoko nga, diba? So, kailangan talaga, meron akong part of me that still trusts and believes in the legacy systems in its own way. For it to be believable for the mass markets.
Okay.
That's my opinion there.
So, I agree with you on that. Ako, I've never told anyone to do what I did. I always no, I wouldn't. I would never tell that to people because I don't know what your appetite is. And plus your understanding and knowledge of it. I always tell people just put 10%.
Oh.
I say 10%. Yeah. Or, kasi, yun nga, like for example, for a year, let's say the interest rate on your assets is 6%, right?
Interest rates on your assets.
On, let's say assets, whatever. Like say, money. Like say,
inflation, you mean?
6% return. If you get 6%, like say, let's say you have $1 million pesos.
Okay. Yeah.
Tapos, you can get 6% return on that 1 million pesos. So that's 60,000 pesos, right? Yeah. Then put 60,000 on Bitcoin. Why?
By compounding it.
Yeah, kasi if you put 60,000 on Bitcoin and Bitcoin goes to zero, you'll make 60,000 from your 1 million. So you make it back.
Right.
You have no loss.
Right. Makes sense.
But what if I'm right and that 60,000 does a 10x?
Correct.
Then your 60,000 is 600,000. That's worth more than anything that you'd ever make in any of your investment.
Makes sense.
So yun, kaya that's how I am. But do you think Bitcoin's gonna go to zero? Is there a possibility?
I don't think it's gonna. That could have happened when it was around 50K, in my opinion, right? But at around like 100K patas na right now, I think it's too big already right now to go to zero or even flash to zero, right? Even with the macro conditions happening right now. Siguro if you ask me the same question around 2 years ago, I would say there's a small chance, right? I mean, anything's possible in this lifetime naman, diba? But right now, chances of that happening, less than 1% siguro. There's still a small siguro, but I highly doubt it. I wouldn't bet. I'd bet my life pala on it na it wouldn't go to zero.
Wow.
I think, yeah.
I was gonna say, that's a big bet. Kasi considering that it's not 100%
Yeah.
So,
I
pero
think
yeah,
wala,
kasi it's
yeah.
that small a chance. That's what you're saying.
Yes, yeah.
Kaya you're willing to bet your life on it.
Yeah, it's very, it's like minuscule lang.
Yeah.
If
Although
anything.
I've always heard of that phrase, too big to fail. And then you see what happens to the big banks, diba?
Well, I mean, those are banks, right? It's a different story. It's a
Yeah,
different
exactly.
story.
Yeah. So that's the big difference in it there. Wow. You know, I've learned so much in this conversation we had, and
Likewise, man.
and it's good na nakikita ng mga viewers natin the two different perspectives of being irresponsible dog and being responsible. Looking at a conservative approach versus an absolutely aggressive jump over the cliff with a parachute approach.
Fico, mas baliktad dapat. Mas bata ako, di ba?
Yeah.
Baliktad dapat yung...
Yeah, oo nga
dapat,
yun nga ang weird for me that
diba?
that was
it's
the...
very interesting though.
Yeah,
Very interesting.
I don't know why, but maybe it's because I've always been I've always been a risk taker, a lot, very big risk taker with anything I've done, which has gotten me into a lot of trouble, by the way. But at the same time, it's also where I made the most gains. But
Right,
but again, that's also where I could lose a lot.
100%. Yeah.
Right? So
Same
yun
thing
lang
here.
I'm not saying to you guys to do what I do. I'm just saying that there's a difference in styles, and you have to, like, what I'm learning
Choose
from you
what
right
you
now
do.
is just choose whichever is comfortable for you.
That's
That's awesome.
If you lose sleep over your investment, then that is a no-go. Plain and simple.
Yeah, because there's nothing worse than being stressed about something you're not supposed to be
Correct.
stressed in.
Yeah.
Diba?
Tsaka yung sinabi talaga dun is like, if you're stressed about your investment, by definition or by chances, no, you would probably make irrational choices. And you don't want to make irrational choices when it comes to your money. Diba? That's why you lose money in the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, dapat talaga, you don't lose sleep over investments, but you're always rational.
Yon. And with that, Jiro, guess what? Our time is up. The viewers have had such a lot of information in this conversation, and I really appreciate your time. And ano lang, for everyone, where can they follow you?
Yeah. So on Instagram and on Facebook. Instagram muna. Jiro Reyes, double S, Jiro Reyes, double S. And on Facebook and Twitter is Jiro Reyes lang, straightforward. So yeah, feel free to reach out to me there on those channels. If my questions go on anything crypto, blockchain, or bonds for that matter, send me a DM. No, happy to help out. It's what I do for a living, and what I'll do continue for a living as well over the next decade or so. So happy to help for sure.
All right, and
Awesome.
guys, with that, thank you so much for watching. At may mga questions ba kayo, or do you agree with Jiro, or do you agree with me? I want you to write down all your comments in the comment section down below. And if you like content like this, subscribe to this YouTube channel. And with that, we'll see you guys on the next Coinversation.
Take care.